What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of SSX-1, and welcome back to the channel. Season 41, war number 11 against 1NG. And, oh boy, do I have a war video for you. This, according to one person in my alliance, was possibly the worst ghost fight of all time. Let alone fight, especially since he's been in the alliance. So as you can imagine, I'm extremely embarrassed to show this video, but we will do it. We'll get through it together, and we will try to have some fun making fun of my lack of understanding of one particular champ. Anyway, this war here, we'll start off with American Chavez. I've got iDoom and Ghost. America Chavez has been really good for the rest of the alliance this particular season. She does very well with the tactic, and this is my first time bringing her to war, I want to say, possibly second, but first time. So I'm not all that comfortable with her. I rarely use her other than, again, a couple of arena. But on this fight here, my target or my goal was to basically just heavy cancel into specials. Fortunately, at this point in the war, the boss was actually down, so I didn't need to deal with the flourish with crossbones. So I was still trying to play him stun immune, just out of habit and to be safe, and then kind of said heavy cancel into the specials and eventually wear him down. So I was never kind of really at risk or felt like I was out of control in this particular fight. I had done my duels, like, don't get me wrong, I try to prepare as best as I can, especially when I'm using kind of champs I'm not super comfortable with, and try not to, let everyone down as much as possible. So all to say is, no, this is not the fight where things go sour, and we will get to that after. But I don't know, Crossbone's going down pretty slow right now. I'm trying to bait his special, I guess. I didn't want to push him to an SP2, and there's probably a million other ways to play this fight to be safe, but I was just going with what I knew was working for me and to not try to do anything dumb. So yeah, it's really dragged on. Maybe I should have sped this up more. Sorry about that. But anyways, he's finally down. So no harm, no foul. Now this Claire, this next one, this is the fight. This is the one that I'm now super embarrassed by, because I don't even know how to say this. So with Ghost, should have been pretty easy, right? You phase, you get the Massive Furies, and in theory, you don't throw specials because you don't want to get the precision up, because then it complicates things where what you don't want to do, which is what I do, is spam SP1s. Because when you spam the SP1s, you get the precisions up, which means then you have to hit the opponent 3 times before you can phase again. That was not something I was entirely aware of, to be perfectly honest. I've used Ghost enough in the past, not realizing that it kind of impacted anything. And I believe so I used the SP1 here again because I was getting in trouble. I had all these debuffs on me and kind of freaked out. So I used the SP1 to try to gain back some health from the adrenaline. And, after landing that 5 hit, now I've got poisons on me instead of bleed. I do run, was it Tour or whatever it is, to dampen the bleeds that get on you, but not for poisons. So that's going to do a little bit more damage. I just don't know what to say here. So it was just very poorly mismanaged. In hindsight, I should have just done kind of phase 1 hit, phase 1 hit, phase 1 hit, no specials, and then withered her down. But that's not what happened, and there is now my second death of the season. So at this point, we were kind of 130 fights in, I think. For the war, we had, I think, 5 deaths or 4 deaths for the alliance. We had they were only, I think, 20 some odd fights in, and they had maybe died like twice. So at this point, I'm feeling not so great, not so hot. I was questioning what happened. I went in, no one was awake because I took these fights really late as well, so I couldn't necessarily get some additional advice. So anyways, I went back in and tried to just play it a little smart, go back to the initial strategy that I had, and kind of phase one hit, and so on to do a kind of damage and try to be safe and not die. So so you can see it went down much easier that time. So the cleanup was well. Had to waste some items, had died to a fight that I should probably never die to, and again, extremely embarrassed by that. So anyway, what can you do? So America Chavez now, fight number 3 against Hyperion. The target here is to just finish off your heavies as much as possible, because as soon as Chavez gets into kind of 2 negative zones or more, it basically shuts down and then potentially even reverses the power gain that he gets. So my goal was just basically parry heavy for the first 2, and then after that, kind of when he eventually throws a special. But what happens is I end up mistiming a parry, and then probably because I was shaken from the previous fight, get Incinerate on. And in the past, I've had those Incinerates kill me. So I was very nervous that I was like, are you kidding me? I'm going to die to Hyperion after that, a champ that's been in the game forever. Anyway, so all in all, I was still getting the negative zones up. I was then chaining the heavies and finishing them off. And then when I do eventually throw specials, I do chain it as well from the heavies like there, and kind of do some additional damage and stuff like that and get different zones up. But I don't fully understand America Chavez, to be perfectly honest with you. I did do some reading on it. I kind of understand how to play her now, so which is good. And fortunately, the nerves were gone that he is finally done. So I knew with my last fight, I wasn't worried at all. I've taken Bishop numerous times with iDoom and know that he is just an absolute Bishop Slayer. So this last fight for me was pretty quick from memory. Idea was to kind of push him as close to 2.5, 3 bars of power with me having an SP2 ready to heavy cancel into that SP2, and then have the power drain just do a ton of energy damage. So I was trying to play it safe again, not trying to kind of bait any specials until I got to the SP2. So I was letting him kind of hit into my block, baiting the heavy. I didn't want to parry, and then when I got close to that, here's the SP2 I was talking about, and look at all those red numbers and damage that happened. So again, very clean fight. Still shaken by the ghost fight, but you know what? It is what it is. We move on. We've all have that one fight in our, let's call it Marvel career, or at least in the season, that we all want back. And that was it for me. So very embarrassing. Was not particularly happy about it, but it is what it is. What can you do? So in the end, we ended up winning. Thank God, because I would have been really upset I died there and been the cause of it. And right now we're sitting in with 1 war left, Masters top 10 position. So I'm not sure exactly who we matched in this final war, but if all things go well, we'll hopefully finish top 10. I know we've got Masters locked up already, so congratulations again, SSX, for Masters. But you know what? We're in a great position to finish in the top 10. I don't believe we can reach top 3. I think we would need a lot of help for that to happen. So at this point, I'm going to say it's probably impossible. But hey, you never know. But if we can finish top 10 and finish with a strong note in this last war, depending on who we're facing, we'll anyway. And that can with that being said, we'll kind of keep you guys updated and see how we do in the next one. So hope you enjoyed the video. I know some people like the dying more than the killing, so you got your wish. My second death of the season, for 41-2 on the season. But the more important number that I always care about is that we are now 7-4. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care, guys.